If you're interested in getting your replays analyzed, please read my pinned comment below. Thank you and enjoy the video. Make sure to cheat on every kickoff. Good positioning. This is good, but I would have preferred it if you drove at him a bit more aggressively and closer just to tell him that he doesn't have time on the ball. So here, a higher ranked player would see you turned away and take control of the ball and could get a really good flick potentially, which could put you and mate on the back foot. But for C3, I think it's okay. Good speed and attempt here. Really good pop. Pretty awkward aerial to do much with the ball here at C3, but I think you did okay. Shooting on net is a bit risky since the opponent is waiting, and unless it's a super accurate shot, it's likely to get boomed all the way to your open net. Don't flip when contact on the ball is about to happen here. The reason is because your mate is challenging, and you just never know that the ball could 50 and trickle across the goal line. If you're flipping, you may not have time to recover and get the open net in time. This is sensible defending, which I like. I'm not sure if you could have tried to apply a bit more pressure on the ball carrier by cutting into midfield, just to bait him to make a move and not give him too much time. Something like this. This example might not be the best, but I'm trying to apply pressure by my close presence. With this, I'm giving my opponent less time to think, and this could bait my opponent to take a shot on net since it looks like I left it open. But the moment I start to see him actually shoot, I'll boost hard to cover net, and this could be my method to retain possession. Fortunate that the opponent whiffed this ball, otherwise your mate would be in a 2v1 since you didn't really have the reach to challenge to begin with. This happened because you went for corner boost when you already had enough boost to apply pressure and not give the opponent time. Here's what you could have done instead. So here we immediately chase after him as we don't want to give them time. With this, we are able to challenge and don't allow them to beat us. I assume you messed up your recovery because you were ball watching to see if it was going in. Just focus on what you can control, which is your car right now. I think it probably would have made your life easier if your mate cut in and challenged the ball carrier here. This is just to delay their transition to attack, but that's not really in your control. This is just unfortunate. Okay, this situation is quite awkward. There are a few options you could do here. The most common option, I believe, is to immediately speed flip to your own corner boost and just concede possession of the ball and then try to contest. Another option, but albeit quite difficult, is to aerial straight away and try to read and clear the ball. And the final option is what you did, which is wait for the bounce and challenge the ball when you can. This is okay, but if ND Rake decides to demo chase you, it can lead to an open net quite easily. Like I said, it's an awkward situation off kickoff. Probably self-explanatory, but you just simply rush this attempt. You know you have time here because the first opponent went for your corner boost and you got a clean beat on the second man. You tend to ball watch a bit too much when you're landing and it's messing up your recovery. This could be something to work on through Backboard mod recovery plugins. Here, you needed to reset the play. You hesitate and slow down because you feel as though you need to make some sort of play such as passing it back or an aerial or whatever, but reset the play like this. So here I reset the play by forcing the ball all the way back. This allows me to keep possession of the ball even if I'm going the wrong way. Normally, I'd say to swing around with your mate and grab pads to stay close, but I don't think that's possible because if you do that, it's likely ND Raked will just demo you since you'll be in his path. so going for boost makes sense and is probably the best play. Again, try to get a bit closer here to show presence before turning away, just to force a potential giveaway. I understand that your mate is right there, but that's okay because he's driving backwards, so you can keep an eye on him to see if he'll turn around and challenge. If so, you can position accordingly. Here's an example. As you can see, we get closer to try and force a panic, and then we can turn and potentially shoot. And now when you try to turn, you're too far to contest. Good intentions to bring it down, but a bit of a mistouch. You just need to turn your car around mid-jump like this. So we jump and turn midway to ensure the nose hits the ball. You need to be aware of where your mate is when you intend to challenge. Here, you're about to challenge when your mate is far away from you. You can know he was far away because he speed flipped for mid boost as you were pushing up to the corner here. This means if you challenge, the opponent's second man is closer to the play, so the probability is that he will pick up the ball after the 50. Pretty big mistake here. You had no real reason to clear this ball because you had enough boost to control it, and it's in your corner, so that's considered a safe spot. Here's what you could have done instead. We go up the wall, turn around, come down, and try to catch the ball. Okay, the reason why you whiffed this is because you rushed it. And why did you rush it? Because you thought the opponent was also going to go for it, and that essentially caused you to rush and then whiff. So how did this exactly happen, and how do we improve? Let's rewind. Here, you're casually driving to boost when you should speed up and get slightly closer to your mate. Why? Because as you can see, it's quite clear that he's about to get a strong 50 on the ball right now. If you speed up and got closer, you would be closer to the ball when it 50s, and that would give you the certainty that it's your ball, and you would not rush or whiff. The reason why players don't get closer whenever a 50 happens is because they're afraid the 50 will go behind them. But that's not on you. It's on your mate to get the 50 correctly. Yes, you can somewhat predict how the 50 will be based on the car and ball speed and the car positions. That will help. Example. So we get closer with speed, and now when it 50s, we try and take a shot on net. Higher ranks might pop the ball for an aerial play, but taking a strong shot at C3 is sufficient. Good challenge. Nice play. Great shot, but I do think you could have passed through pads instead of straight for corner boost. This ensures you remain close and enables you to pick up the ball quicker. Let's take a look. We path pads here to stay close to the play in case it falls to us and to support our mate. And as you can see, we can reach the ball a lot quicker. Okay, generally speaking, whenever you're about to receive the ball, you should be thinking about how you're going to maintain possession and control. Of course, not all situations allows you to control the ball, but in this specific situation, you have a couple of options. Let's go through them. Option 1. If you're not confident in controlling it, you can do a clear to the corner, although this would concede possession. Option 2. This is a bit more advanced, but it's the same aerial, but you take a controlled soft touch and land on the backboard to follow it up. Option 3, driving up the backboard and taking a touch, jumping down and following it up. And unfortunately, you mess up the play here, which results in the goal. Don't just ball watch here. Be proactive, speed flip and grab their corner boost, or if you feel the ball is going to bounce out towards net, you could have flipped to get the boost and position accordingly. Here, it's just a bit too slow. Here, you should be a bit closer. I understand that you're trying to assume a safe distance, but look at the map. Your mate is being harassed by two players and you're a bit too far. How do we know that we can get closer? Well, your mate has possession and he is likely to 50 any challenge. Let's take a look. As you can see, we just get a bit closer to help mate or maintain pressure or to get any kind of follow up. This is a pretty bad mistake. Opponent hits the ball to your corner, which means it's your possession in a safe place. You had to just drive to the corner and pick up the ball. Decent clear. This should be a fairly simple aerial to net. I believe you're an aerial right player, but every player should ideally master both directional aerials. For this ball, you had to fast aerial. Aerial left slightly to align the car's nose with the ball and then try to hit it on net or backboard for mate. Example. So here we fast aerial, aerial left a bit and take a shot on net. It's still likely to be saved, but for staying in GC, I think this option is still worthwhile and worth learning in general. I think you could have done a bit more with that ball when it came to you, instead of just hitting it back to the opponent. You had a bit more time than you initially thought. Let's take a look. This might be a little advanced, but one option is to pop it a bit high and see if you can get a follow-up. If not, at least the ball is high and the opponent can't exactly counterattack quickly. Good bump. Need to cheat a bit harder here. Decent clear, but could be better. Felt as though you were a bit too far back, too slow and too passive in that sequence of play. Let's see how we can improve on this. Need to be quicker. We speed flip to get closer and just overall a lot more proactive, aggressive and in the play. Here you look a bit awkward and all over the place because you didn't position your car on the wall. Here's what you should have done. Here we rush to backboard and wait until it's time to challenge. This way we prevent any kind of awkwardness when defending. Path across pads and stay in the play, and if you have a chance to grab mid boost, do that. This is a more efficient pathing than taking yourself out of the play for corner. Example. We path along pads and grab mid boost if we can. I like this decision quite a lot. Many would be tempted to go for mid boost, but I like how you play the ball and somewhat delay what the opponent wants to do. Okay, this positioning doesn't make sense. Why? Firstly, you're spacing out your car way too far from the play. Secondly, if you pay attention to the opponent's car, you can see he's about to hit the ball to your right hand side. Thirdly, the opponent's car isn't going that fast, so there's no threat to your net. Let's take a look at how you should have positioned. So here we wait and see what he's going to do while staying in the play. Once we notice he's hitting to the right, we turn around and hit the ball away from him. And because of your positioning, you can see just how much time you allow the opponent to have. Yes, maybe in c3 they might not be able to punish you, but once you get higher, they will. You had enough time to get corner boost and then try and do your aerial challenge. You need to stop air rolling in situations like these, especially with low boost. A fast aerial with no air roll would get you there quicker and a stronger hit too. Example. We fast aerial with no air roll and we're able to get a decent hit on the ball. Good positioning. Great, that entire sequence was good considering you had no boost for most of it. This ball isn't really worth going for. You're better off just ignoring it and grab mid boost as soon as you landed. Don't be afraid to get closer here. If you're scared that your mate will get dunked, being closer enables you to see the challenge coming and you can prepare for it. Here's an example. We get closer and we're able to pick up on any whiffs or miss saves a lot quicker. Try not to push the ball up and around the corner, especially when there are two opponents back in net. It becomes an easy challenge. In this instance, it's better to pop the ball up the ceiling or just taking the ball up and away from the corner. It might be advanced for your rank, but here's an example. Here, we decided to go for a reset, but you don't have to. It could be an air dribble, and I think that'll be much better than taking it around the corner. I know it's repetitive, but you need to stop air rolling. Start to practice no air roll aerials, and it'll make your life easier. The purpose of air roll is usually to either soften the recoil or to adjust your alignment. In this instance, your car was already aligned to clear the ball into your corner. You need to read the play more. You're turning left when the opponent is about to hit the ball to the right. You need to notice this and get ready to turn right so you can pick up the ball. If you did that, you probably could have scored. Example. So we read the play and can see the opponent is going fast and is about to hit it to the right. We wait and take an aerial shot on net. You're pushing a bit too far wide. You had a chance to cut in and force the ball away from him. Example. We track the ball and here's the moment you could have cut in. Can't speed flip here when the opponent has possession like this. You're stuck in animation and they can easily bypass you. It's not good first man play here. I like the idea with what you're trying to do here, but you overcomplicated it. You just needed to go up the wall and control the ball with a touch, and if possible, take it down the corner and leave the ball to try and demo the guy on net. If you're trying to scurry back to net like this, your goal shouldn't be to rotate back post. You're supposed to demo chase the guy in the middle. He's the target man, not the opponent in the corner. If you demo him, there's basically no threat anymore. And if you did that, your mate here could have had a clear shot on net and likely score. I like the fake attempt here. Playing pads here is the safer option instead of corner boost. You don't need to turn around here. Your mate is rotating back for you and it's very difficult for the opponent to hit the ball on net. Good try. Good clear. You don't need to speed flip here, just another 2 or 3 more boosts and you would have been at supersonic. Speed flipping here just keeps you in animation for no benefit. This is your ball. I know you thought mate would take it, but it doesn't make sense for him to take it. If he takes it, you're positioned too far to the right. If you take it, your mate could stay a bit more central and thus has greater influence. Not sure what happened here, maybe a misinput. Anyway, you saw your mate got demoed. This means you need to buy him time to get boost and reposition before you challenge. If you challenge now, it's very risky because if you don't get a good challenge, you leave your mate in a 2v1. Great touch, but you overcomplicate the recovery by turning your car and air rolling. Decent aerial clear, just mess up the recovery unfortunately.